Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan and welcome to week number 53 of the top 5 mods of the week. Now hopefully you guys will enjoy the mods that I've picked out for this week. Starting off at our number 5 spot, we have the improved closed-faced helmets. Now this mod makes modifications to Skyrim's closed-faced helmets to have actual eye sockets and gaps so that you can see the character's eyes and some facial features. Each race has its own helmet model appropriate for their size and head shape, most notable on beast races. Now I think this mod is really cool because it's very realistic to be able to see the person's eyes through the helmet, and it also adds like character to the game. I believe that if you're facing up against someone in a fight and you can see their eyes and they can see yours, that would make for a way more intense fight. You know, being able to look them in the eyes as you're swinging your giant club at them or your giant sword at them, it just makes it a lot more satisfying. And I've noticed that as I've gone through and used this and actually went into caves and started actually fighting people. Now it's a very small change, but I think it'll make the game a whole lot better, so that's why it comes in at our number 5 spot, so I recommend giving it a try. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the unique armors and weapons, Unenchanted and Craftable. Now this is a mod that I've been waiting for ages. Now the biggest problem with wanting to roleplay as a certain type of character is that you actually have to play the game as someone you don't want to be for a little bit before you can actually become the person you want to be. That scratches this completely. You have pretty much access to all of the unique armors and weapons through the miscellaneous category of the smithing section. And they're unenchanted, so they're not really like overpowered, and it's not necessarily like super armored clothing. It's more of like the clothing that isn't super armored. It's as the mod says, it's the unique parts. And like, you know, a good example of that would be Cicero's clothes. If you wanted to play as like a jester or something like that, you can create the jester's hat and the jester's robes right off the bat, right whenever you get into Whiterun. You know, you could be part of the Blades or something like that, and you can enjoy the game of Skyrim playing as whoever you want to be using this mod. So I'm going to scroll through the list of everything that it comes with, and I'm going to go pretty quick so you can pause the video if you need to, and I'll also leave a open window for you to skip if you don't want to see them all. So let's begin.
There's nothing left for me to do but run and act myself a fool. No point in trusting anyone. Your eyes of diamonds keep me up. Never thought that it could be this rough. No point in trusting anyone.
So as you can see, there's a bunch of different options and armors to choose from, so that's why it comes in at our number 4 spot, so I'd recommend giving it a try. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have the 4K HD Black Sky X bow. Now this mod is incredible. I've never seen a bow anything like this before. Now what you have to do is go across from Riverwood's dock, and there's a chest up against the wall here in the ground, and you'll pick it up, and there's just the X bow along with some 5,000 gold in there, which I think is a pretty cool addition. And once you equip the X bow, it actually does a lot of damage, and it's a really powerful bow. And the animation for it and just the look and style of it, I believe the skin on it is meant to represent like a purple like galaxy type feel, which is a really cool thing. I think that skin on the bow is like the most perfect one to have in Skyrim especially, and the colors are really nice. And the dual bow, how it just goes in an X and you shoot the arrow through the middle, I think that is amazing. I think that's a great idea, and that's why it packs such a powerful shot behind it. It's very satisfying to use, and to aim it very accurately you'll have to crouch, and then you could just shoot it through the little hole there, and you can even zoom in if you have your archery skill high enough. And it can make for some very interesting kills, so that is why it comes in at our number 3 spot, so I'd recommend giving this mod a try. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have the Tomebound mod. Now the Tomebound is an attempt at a small unofficial DLC add-on, similar to the Spell Tomes DLC in Oblivion. Now it adds a whole bunch of new spells into the game that I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to show you. Starting off with the first one, we have the Absorb skills. This one is the Restoration, and you can just absorb the skill right off of the person that you're attacking, and I think that is really cool because then you can heal yourself with your other hand and absorb the Restoration with the other, and I think that's a really cool aspect. Moving on to our next one, we have Blight Living, which is a disease that does 25 points of damage to health and stamina, which I think is a really cool thing. And it also has a nice little animation to it as well. That's really cool. Moving on to our next one, we have Burden, which is when the target moves and regenerates stamina 15% slower than normal, which was actually in Oblivion, which I think is really cool. It brings back the Burden spell and the Burden enchantment and stuff like that. I think that's a really cool aspect. And then the next one we have Cold Touch. Now, I actually believe that the touch spells were the most powerful in Oblivion, as opposed to the ones that you can cast from far away. The touch spells were really powerful, and so is this one. This is just the Frost Touch, and I think it's a really cool aspect that they brought it back. Then we have Ease Burden, or Feather as it was called in Oblivion. It improves the character's carrying capacity by 50 points for 240 seconds, meaning if you're over encumbered or you have too much stuff and you can't run, you'll be able to cast this spell and then you'll be able to run for a while until you can, either drop all your items, store all your items, or sell all your items. We also have Open Lock spells, which is a thing that was from Oblivion that I really, really liked. If you were high in Alteration and not in Security, then you would be able to unlock doors and stuff like that using spells instead of lockpicks, which was a really amazing feature into Oblivion, and I think it should have carried over to Skyrim, but now you can actually use it in Skyrim again to this mod, and you can open any apprentice lock, which is what I had here, or there's, other tiers. There's open master lock, open expert lock, open stuff like that, We also have a new spell called Planewalk Riverwood, or Planewalk and then, any type of location, and it's just a spell that you can cast and it'll take you right to the location. This one takes you to Riverwood, and there's others that can take you to Whiterun, or other places like that. So that's a really awesome feature, and I think that's really cool. It would make to be a really useful spell if you get into a sticky situation in a cave. So as you can see, it adds a bunch of new spells into the game that have been either reimagined through different games or just thought of in general, and I think it makes for the game to be a whole lot better, and it adds a whole bunch of new options for you to be a mage, and that is why it comes in on our number 2 spot, so I'd recommend giving it a try. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have Skarza, a player home. Now, this home is right next to Whiterun. You can't miss it, and it has its own little fast travel spot that you can go to right off the bat, right whenever you start the game up with the mod installed. And you can walk into the house, and it's a very large house, and it's very beautiful. And I don't think I've really ever seen many house mods that include a spiral staircase in it, which I think is a pretty cool aspect that they put into this house. And I'm going to be giving you guys the full tour of the whole house, so let's begin. So as you can see, the house is rather large and there's a lot of open areas, but there's also a lot of areas that, are very useful, as, the basement where it has the chests everywhere and all of your workstations and stuff like that. And then on the upstairs, you have your bedroom, and then there's, another room for, this and that, but it's all open and it's all, really spread out nicely, and it's a beautiful looking house, and there's a lot of decor that just really brings the home together, and that is why it definitely comes in at our number 1 spot. So I would strongly recommend downloading this mod. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the Top 5 Skyrim Mods of the Week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It helps me out a lot. And if you have any mods that you'd like me to cover in future Top 5 Mod episodes, you can let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions through there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys later.